Ladies and gentlemen, look what I'm looking at. Look at what's here tonight. Range Rover from Land Rover HSE Sport. And I'm going to be doing a couple things on this truck over the next few weeks. Tonight, today, this afternoon, this evening, I'm going to be doing an oil change on this vehicle. And this oil change, if you were to go to the dealership and have it done, what you're getting is synthetic oil, of course, and the cost of this service at the dealership is roughly about $500. The oil filter by itself on this vehicle is $50, and the oil is another $90. So you're looking at about $140 in material, and then they tell you they're going to check all the fluids, etc., etc. We know how that goes. It's not like they're going to put them in for free. They're just going to check it. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to just open the hood, driver's side door. Then under the hood, there's a release lever right there. You just simply reach in, grab that. Alright, see the nice beautiful leaves that is gathered up in the winter time, in the fall. Let's get rid of those real quick. Those like to get into get trapped in as you're driving along. Alright, so you're looking at the hood, and under the hood you have this cover, this nice beautiful V8 plastic cover. Just pick that up and it exposes the engine. Alright, so looking at the engine from the top down, here's the oil filter cover. We're going to be removing that, and I'm going to talk about how to do that. And here's the oil filler, and also the oil, there's no dipstick on this truck. This is where we're going to put the oil in. Alright, we're also going to remove or evacuate the oil from here. Alright, so what I'm going to do, this oil filter cover, in order to evacuate the oil properly on that side right there, got to loosen this up just a tiny amount, 4 turns, so that the oil in the filter will drain down into the pan and not cause a mess when you remove this later. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this a little. I'm using one hand, folks, so bear with me, okay? Turning it. There we go. That's just that's 2 turns, 3 turns. Four turns, just about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the oil filler cover, and right there you see that that port right there that I'm touching. That's where I'm going to put the evacuator hose onto it. Alright, so I got my evacuator all set up, right? And at the end of this evacuator is a connector. And this end connects onto the port right there. And we're going to use that to pull the oil out. Okay. So we're going to manually pump this up. And you can see the oil starting to come out. Not sure if you can hear it, but it's coming up. Yep. And I'm going to just loosen this up a little bit more. And I'm just manually pumping this evacuator. This is from a marine boat supply. And if you hold the hose is the same temperature as the oil, which is hot at this point. These vehicles have their oil filter and their oil port right on top, so you don't have to go underneath the engine anymore like you used to back in the old days. Makes it nice and clean and easy to do. So this is going to take about 8 to 10 minutes, maybe quicker, of evacuating the oil using this process. So we'll be right back when that's done. Alright, the oil is just about done coming out of the evacuator. I had to empty the evacuator once. It's 9.5 liters. So 9.5 quarts. Anyway, so as that was happening, I was loosening this up just so that it could breathe. And that's just about done draining out of there. And as you can see, that's releasing the pressure. There's no more oil to be had out of there. So I'm going to just go ahead and disconnect this and disconnect the evacuator as well. And remove the oil filter, put a new one on. When you're removing the oil filter, make sure that you cover the oil filter port so that nothing goes in there. I'm going to remove that and put that in a safe place for now. We're going to cover this so that nothing gets in there. We're going to disconnect this. The evacuator creates a nice tight suction. Before I remove anything, I always like to line them up, make sure they match. Filter has an O-ring here, one here, and we want to make sure that those are also there. When you're taking off the old filter, you want to make sure that the O-ring that's on here actually comes off. If it stays on the vehicle, you'll miss it. Put on another one, then you create a leak. So this is going to be replaced by this one, alright? So once you've gotten it off of that lip, just slide it off. Slide on the new one. Be very careful with the new one. You don't want to damage it. Then you slide off the oil filter. Only goes on one way, so you don't have to worry about that. That's what the inside looks like. You hear that click? Once you hear that click, everything is in place. I'll take a little bit of the oil and just put it on the O-ring. And I put that all the way around. I usually use my finger to do that. Around the edges here. Alright, so now I'm gonna put this funnel right in place, right over the port, just like that. And we're gonna start filling our oil. This is 5 quarts, so it's gonna call for 5 quarts. It's gonna call for like 9.5, so I'm gonna put the first 5 in. And this is 5W20 as called for by this vehicle. I'm using Mobil 1, high mileage. High mileage is anything over 75,000 miles. 5W20, full synthetic. So I'm just tightening this back up, and then I'll torque it down. Tighten it by hand first, just so you don't misthread it. Alright, so the oil has been done, been put back. I put in about 8.5 to 9 quarts, and I'm going to check the level now. So you turn the menu on, but you don't start it. Then, okay, so I went into the menu options by scrolling around on the little joystick here. Press OK. Go all the way down to service menu. Go into that by pressing the right arrow key. There. It shows you the VIN display, the oil level display. You go down to oil level display, you hit OK. And it's right at the maximum level. Perfect. With the engine running, you want to check the oil filter port just to make sure that there's no signs of leaking. Alright. Let that run for about 3 minutes. Make sure there's no sign of leaking. We're going to check the oil level on the checking for oil leaks. We're going to also check the oil level in the menu again, because we all know that the oil filter takes up a little bit of oil. That looks good. No signs of leaks. No signs of leaks anywhere. Perfect. Recording again, so we're going to put back the cover. The cover goes into, see these little nodules here, these little notches? They go into these little rubber gaskets there and there. Alright, to get into the menu, press the up arrow, takes you into the menu. Go down using the down arrow to service menu, hit OK, go to oil display, hit OK, and it says press OK to clear, engine oil level is not available.